Division, Mark Joseph, says the TTPS is ready and all operational objectives are in place for the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly election.
Our objective is to ensure that the democratic process is supported with professionalism, fairness, and safety for all citizens. The THA elections, there would be on polling day, that is on Monday, the polls open at 6 a.m. and close at 6 p.m.
Superintendent of Police and Head of the Tobago Division, Mark Joseph, says the TTPS is ready and all operational objectives are in place, and the 15 electoral districts, 99 polling divisions and 117 polling stations are available to facilitate accessible voting for all.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is committed to upholding law and order throughout the election period and beyond, including the pre-election phase, polling day, and the post-election period. Our primary responsibilities include ensuring public safety and order at all stages of the electoral process, providing security for election materials, including ballot boxes and documents.
In addition, the TTPS secures the movement of ballot boxes and material and assists in the management of polling stations to ensure a safe and orderly elections process. Joseph says pre-election day there will be increased patrols and a greater presence of personnel from other agencies throughout the island.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service reaffirms its commitment to supporting the democratic process, ensuring that all eligible citizens are able to exercise their constitutional right to vote in a secure and orderly environment. We encourage all registered voters to participate in the electoral process responsibly. I must say with confidence that the Tobago Division is ready.
The THA election will be held on Monday, January 12th. The replacement vessel for the MV Cabo Star, the MV Blue Star Harmony, is expected to arrive in Trinidad on January 18th or thereabouts, depending on weather and regulatory clearance. The MV Cabo Star makes its final voyage on January 12th, leaving a tentative gap of 6 days plus that the required regulatory clearance. No date was given for the vessel going into service, but the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago is advising stakeholders that contingency cargo arrangements have been finalized and the galleon's passage has been designated as a primary vessel for essential and priority cargo. The TNT Spirit would carry limited palletized essential cargo within approved safety and weight limits, and the APT James would ferry passenger and accompanied vehicles exclusively. Cargo on the sea bridge would be subjected to 3 levels of priority. Level 1, food, pharmaceutical and medical supplies. Priority level 2, essential retail and SME supplies. And priority level 3, non-essential cargo, considered cargo that can be deferred or delayed. This contingency cargo plan for the sea bridge would be managed on a day-to-day basis as stated in the release from the Port Authority, dated January 8th. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar said her government will seek to give a grace period to drivers who find themselves on the wrong side of the law for defective vehicles. In a January 7th statement, the PM said her government will go to Parliament to propose implementing a system that requires drivers to be given time to repair defects before fines are enforced. The proposed mandatory notice time for the fixed penalty notice warning system ranges from 3 to 7 days. In the case of drivers without identification lights for illuminating identification marks or vehicles at night, or the number of passengers to be carried not printed on the right front of a taxi, those infractions will attract a 3-day notice. For infractions such as driving a vehicle with defective fittings and using a noisy car those violations will attract 7 days' notice. The Prime Minister said she was taking the warning notice measure as Ministers Eli Zakur and Roger Alexander told her that a small minority of traffic wardens, licensing officers and TTPS officers were abusing the ticketing system and terrorizing law-abiding citizens. Describing the officers' behavior as wicked, she said she must protect law-abiding citizens from them and from delinquent drivers. Pasant Bisasa said her statement that the TNT is a lawless dump has merit, as officials report a high number of traffic infractions and lawless drivers on the nation's roads. In many instances, the fines for driving defective vehicles doubled, and the penalty for driving without a license is now $10,000. We'll take a break and come back more for you shortly.
Welcome to the speed round of getting money right. Let's begin. Name some of the red flags associated with an investment scam.
Pressure tactics to invest.
Correct.
Promise of money if you bring friends.
Correct.
Request for personal information.
Correct. Bonus question. What is the penalty for operating a pyramid or Ponzi scheme?
$10 million and 10 years in prison.
Correct. Well done. The scores are even, so we go to our tiebreaker question. You receive money in your account from an investment company, and they tell you to transfer it to a third account. Does that sound right?
I think about it, and that not right.
Congratulations, you tinker! Getting Money Right is brought to you by the TTSEC. Visit investigateTT.com to access free learning resources and check the TTSEC for a list of registered individuals and securities. The Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. You invest, we protect, everyone benefits.
Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy. Almost everything, almost anything, almost anytime, almost every day. We in every season for every reason. Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy. Almost everything you want from a pharmacy. Just ask our pharmacist. Well, almost. We are here to serve all of you all of the time. Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy. 141 Chauvin Road, Buku. Call our pharmacy on 610-7634 or our supermart on 768-0723 and 766-0476. Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy.
For 10 years, Pulse 89.5 FM has been the beat that moves Tobago. From the latest hits to the voices of the community, we bring the island's rhythm to life. Every day, every hour. Stay locked to Pulse 89.5 FM, the beat of Tobago. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and stream us worldwide on the TuneIn app.
Escape to elegance at Le Chateau Suites Tobago. Gated privacy, breathtaking villas, unforgettable memories, where Caribbean dreams become reality.
Secretary of the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development, Trevor James, has revealed another instance of corruption under the previous administration, he claims.
One section from the bridge that goes over Friendsfield up on that hill, going towards Bacalet, less than 200 meters, that one section of the river, they subdivide it into 7 parts. 7 parts. And they gave, just as they gave the other one from Moriah that I call, they gave another 1 contractor the 7 parts. They gave them the 7 parts. PNM procurement corruption style.
James then quoted what the law states when it comes to dividing contracts.
I want people to understand what the law says, because you see, truth matters. The law says that a procuring entity shall not split procurement requirements for a given quantity of goods, works, or services to avoid the obligations under the Act. You mustn't split up a project to give somebody a small piece. A procuring entity shall not divide its procurement or use a particular valuation method for estimating the value of the procurement so as to limit competition among suppliers or contractors or otherwise avoid its obligation under the Act.
James was speaking in Darrell Spring Wim, on January 7th. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine is not ruling out establishing a town and country office in Tobago if Trinidad refuses to have the services of town and country moved to Tobago.
But there is an important reason why town and country planning must be here in Tobago. We had a situation, and we have been having situations where average Tobagonians, those doing business, those building their homes, getting turned down, getting denied. And then when you from Tobago have to contest the denial, you have to jump on a plane or jump on a boat, go to Trinidad for strangers to sit down and decide if you could get the planning approved. And if that didn't work, you have to hope to God to appeal to the minister in Trinidad. When we win the election again, if they are not prepared to send tongue and country planning in Tobago, I am prepared to set up our own tongue and country planning and let them contest me in court and see who will win.
Augustine told party supporters that it cannot be fair for decisions to be made for Tobago.
But we cannot have our development stymied because somebody else just wants to decide for us. It is not fair. It cannot be fair. And so when we have Mr. Ricky Jofield on the team, we have someone that is an experienced planner who understands the rules of engagement and how we can now assist small businesses, assist private citizens here in Tobago to get their development going.
In early November, officials of the Town and Country Division met with officials from Tobago, as well as banks and other financial institutions, to talk about a host of matters, including the developed TT platform. The platform is for planning, permissions, building permits, and other approvals, making it easier for users to submit, track, and manage applications across multiple government agencies. Tobago People's Party candidate for Bethel Newgrange, Darren Henry, has promised to make changes to the Susu lands in Bethel Newgrange district.
In Susu land, we have 32 acres of an old quarry. So the plans that we have, we want to rehabilitate the quarry. We want to develop an international mountain bike track, create some event spaces, things like rock climbing, and to create family activities. We can do so much. And one of my suggestions is that will be vested in the cooperative in Susuland. It will provide sustainable jobs for people of Bethel, for people of Susuland, for the entire electoral district. Those are some of the things that we have for Susuland.
That there are changes coming, including the opportunity to train reef tour operators.
We are committed to developing skills in reef tour management. There are guys here in this electoral district that conduct reef tours. We want to upgrade it. Recently, we have been having some accidents, and we want to upgrade that. Boat building and repairs. Training in boat engine repairs and other small engine repairs. Assist in forming a fishing cooperative. We will support the formation of agriculture cooperatives, support the reactivation of the Susuland cooperative. Susuland needs the cooperative to be back on track.
In October 2025, the boat called Cool Runnings and Rush Hour sank in separate incidents. This sparked concerns about the reef industry being regulated and about safety concerns. Tobago People's Party candidate for Signal Hill Patience Hill, Nigel Tate, has given an update on the salaries for Unemployment Relief Program and CPEP program.
There's a talk on the ground saying that this party is going to send home CPEP and URP workers. But I want to tell you tonight, it's high time we let the people know the truth. That is a big lie. The Chief Secretary announced that we are not sending home nobody. So those on the other side who going and spreading the propaganda, oh God, don't stop now. We fed up right now. Stop it. The lies is not, oh God, we fed up on the lies. Nobody will be sent home. And as a matter of fact, in the blueprint, you all will see where all the salaries will be raised to $5,500.
The Tobago House of Assembly says it has already received the funds allocated for the CPEP and URP programs. The People's National Movement has leveled allegations that the two programs would be terminated and workers would be sent home as the Trinidad versions of the programs were closed down. However, the TPP has since disputed this, saying the programs will continue in Tobago. We'll take another break and come back with more for you next.
Our security services company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
There are some new developments in housing in Tobago, so it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Cathedral Credit Union is celebrating big. Get up to $81,000 at just 0.8% interest with our anniversary loan. And because Christmas is in the air, we're spreading cheer with up to $60,000 at only 1%. Visit cathedralcutt.com or call 235-6947 today. Cathedral Credit Union. Member-owned, member-focused.
To vote is simple. The Elections and Boundaries Commission advises that before Election Day, you should receive your poll card in the mail. Open it to find the address of your polling station. Keep the poll card safe and take it with you on Election Day. If you did not receive your poll card in the mail, you can still vote. A poll card will be prepared for you at your polling station. You can also visit the EBC's website at www.ebctt.com or call the hotline at 785-8206 or 785-8211 to find your polling station. On Election Day, you should check the list posted outside your polling station for your name and number. Where there are several polling stations on the same compound An information officer will direct you to your polling station. Polling agents who act on behalf of candidates are there to witness the process. If your name is on the list of electors and you have a valid ID card, you join the green line. All other persons, including physically incapacitated, blind or visually impaired persons, should join the red line. You are required to sign your poll card in front of the poll clerk. The deputy presiding officer examines your hands and fingers. If there is no evidence of electoral ink stains, you're issued a ballot paper. The deputy presiding officer also demonstrates how to mark and fold a ballot paper using the guidance ballot and how to vote with the X stamp. The ballot paper is folded to display the initials of the deputy presiding officer and the polling station number. A blind, visually impaired or physically incapacitated person is allowed to vote with the assistance of a companion. In the privacy of the voting booth, you vote by placing an X at the right of your candidate's symbol. If you make a mark other than an X, your ballot will be rejected and not counted. Fold your ballot paper as you were previously shown by the deputy presiding officer and proceed to the officer in charge of the ballot box. Display your folded ballot paper with the initials of the deputy presiding officer and polling station number. You will then be required to dip your finger in the electoral ink before you are allowed to place your ballot paper in the ballot box. If you refuse to dip your finger in the electoral ink, you will not be allowed to vote. When you've finished with this process, wipe off the excess ink. Any problem you encounter in the polling station should be brought to the attention of the presiding officer. To vote is your right. Exercise it. A message from the Elections and Boundaries Commission, your partners in democracy.
The People's National Movement Tobago Council predicts that the replacement inter-island cargo vessel will not operate in Trinidad and Tobago. We go now to the political hustings now, where Lawrence Hislop has another prediction. He questioned where the reason behind licensing officers administering government's increased traffic fees structure in Trinidad on January 1st, but not in Tobago.
I have to ask the question, why is it that when the year turn around, the police and the licensed officers are them bad in Trinidad, but everybody play nice in Tobago? Monday's election, you know, and I'm telling you on the 13th of January, somebody could end up with a $19,000 ticket.
Speaking more about the new traffic fines, Hislop claims the two Tobago People's Party members of Parliament, David Thomas and Joel Sampson, were part and parcel of the decision to increase the costs to taxpayers.
You see these traffic fines that Tomo and Notsi have agreed to? I remember, was it last year, when them fellas in white shirts come up the road, them boys make thing down in the junction to say they walk in Shimidibi, unlicensed officers, and all, and listen to the chief secretary at the biggest mouth about what is happening with traffic fines. But now he's silent.
The PNM Tobago Council official said he is not promoting lawlessness and people must obey the law. However, the new traffic fines are too high. Meanwhile, the PNM told supporters at the Roxborough meeting that constituents do not have a voice as their current assemblyman, Watson Duke, has sold them out. The PNM's Palutuvia Lansforme Speyside candidate, Maxlon Roberts, said Duke has sold his legacy.
Has Watson sold his birthright? Has the king of Roxborough, the alleged king, sold his birthright? Has Farley sold his birthright to his friends and financiers in South Trinidad? And has David Thomas sold his birthright to the UNC for his voice? Because all of a sudden, Roxborough Argyle is voiceless.
Meanwhile, the PNM told supporters at the Roxborough meeting that constituents do not have a voice as their current assemblyman has sold them out.
The only way to fix, to change, to move Tobago forward is to get rid of the style of government that is known as a kakistocratic kleptocracy government. Kakistocratic kleptocracy kind of government. I want you all to look that up. Kakistocracy is a style of government where governance is led by the very worst amongst us. And kleptocracy is a style of government who is led by thieves.
Duke, leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, is now encouraging his supporters to vote for the TPP, Orlando Kerr, and who is the TPP's candidate for Roxborough Argyle District, while Shonay John, the youngest candidate in the THA elections, will represent the PNM. Linda Daniel is on an Innovative Democratic Patriots ticket. Executive Officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Blind Welfare Association, Kenneth Surratt, is calling on disabled persons to apply for parking permits offered through the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Surratt says the permits are free and you don't have to own a vehicle to get one.
The parking permit is issued in the name of the person with a disability, not the driver. Once you are traveling in any vehicle, the permit is valid and may be used by the person who is driving you. This permit gives you the right to park in designated disability parking spaces, which are intended to be closer and safer for access to building and services.
He pointed out that there is strength in numbers and disabled persons have a greater voice when they work collectively.
The more persons who hold parking permits, the stronger our collective voice becomes. This allows us to better advocate for designated parking spaces in all public spaces and government buildings, properly marked disability parking and health facilities and shopping areas, private businesses, to allocate designated parking spaces for persons with disabilities located as close as possible to the entrance.
And now we take a look at our weather, and marine users are being advised to exercise caution as seas may occasionally become agitated due to the presence of northeasterly long-period swells. Tonight, generally fair and cool despite the chance of a few showers developing mainly towards dawn. Tomorrow, gusty winds and street flooding is possible in the event of showers and/or heavy downpours, partly cloudy and breezy with a medium chance of showery spells in some areas. There is a low chance of 1 or 2 heavier showers in few areas. Seas moderate, winds northeast to east-southeast 5 to 35 kilometers per hour. Waves in open water 1.5 meters to 2 meters. In sheltered areas below 1 meter. High tides is at 8:21 a.m. and 8:47 p.m. Low tides is at 2:03 a.m. and 2:39 p.m. Sunrise is at 6:24 a.m. and sunset is at 5:55. Tomorrow, temperatures would reach a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius and fall to 24 degrees. Let's take a look now at our headlines once again. Police promise safe and fair THA elections. TPP accuses PNM of illegally splitting contract in 7 parts. And PNM predicts inter-island cargo vessel to operate from month end. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's newscast here on Channel 5. On behalf of our news team and our technical crew, I'm Adika O'Neill wishing you a good night.